let's dive on into our next deck here, huh? So this is Zoe Heimerdinger. This archetype is very similar to the Heimer Vi deck that had success at the previous, our first seasonal tournaments last season. So Heimer is a pretty reasonable control finisher. He says whenever you cast a spell, create a fleeting turret in hand with different stats based on what the cost of the spell you played was, and your turret costs 0. So you get 0-1s, 1-1s, and then at 2, they start getting keywords. Tough, fearsome, overwhelm, quick attack, elusive, barrier, and then eventually just an 8-8. So one of the best spells in the game to pair with Heimer is Flash of Brilliance, because this creates a 6+ cost spell in your hand, so it's 2 spells in 1. And it notably refills your spell mana. So if you have kind of a nut straw with Heimer, you can play Heimer on 5 with 3 spell mana banked, and then play multiple flashes to get a bunch of 3-1s with Fearsome. Our second champion in this deck today is Zoe, which needs no introduction at this point. Just very powerful, elusive threat that also generates card advantage. Her super cool star charts are technically burst spells to pair with Heimer, which is nice. And then Heimer creating lots of bots actually works well with Zoe because they're differently named cards that help Zoe level up, which is sweet. The rest of the deck is good interaction like Hush, Mystic Shot, things like Pale Cascade, just good units like Shield Bearer, Solari Priestess, and Sump Dredger. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games here with this and see how it feels today. As a Tar Run, thank you for the 2/3 of you. I really appreciate the support. I wouldn't be here without folks like you. Thanks for keeping me around. Have I dabbled in any of the co-op labs? I have not, Titan O'Clock. The deck queue's been reasonably busy. I like to stick to what I know on average. Like even today, when I started as the smallest the deck queue's been in probably the last month, there's still a dozen decks that were waiting to be played when I signed on this morning. I think I'm definitely keeping a Mystic Shot here. Mulligan the Pale Cascade looking for more threats. That's a great draw. Do I want to play this out? I don't think so. I think I want to just super cool star chart. I could also be right to just ditch this to Sump Dredger. I think I'm into that. I think this is an easy round end. Burning 1 mana to burn 2 of theirs. What changes if I play this? What can they do that makes me sad? I don't think they can do anything to make me sad. This type of control deck, Angle to beat, the weird Heal to win archetype, Rocket Kench. It's probably just a bad matchup, Moon Boots. I feel about the reappearance of TF Swain. I think decks like TF Swain and Ezreal Draven are decks that are incredibly good to have be the best decks in Runeterra. I think the types of gameplay that these decks generate and encourage is good for the game on average. That's a pretty ambitious powder keg there.
Aren't any gods here? Just me.
Impressive. I think I'm just sumping again here. Or am I playing this because it's a differently named card? Let's try leveling up Zoe. Flash of Brilliance is pretty good at leveling Zoe too. It's like a free card that works towards leveling Zoe. We do currently have a lot more card advantage than them, you're not wrong. Seven out of 10. 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. How can you play Star Shaping? What's wrong with Star Shaping? Did I miss a memo about Star Shaping? Actually, do I Pale Cascade this because it's going to level her, which will save her, and then this can hook this? I think that's the play, right? Time to make colors. Bye, friends. And then Heimer's bots share their keywords with everything every turn. It's an excellent start.
Truly remarkable.
Truly remarkable. ETZ Anderson, thanks for the follow, by the way. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, these two champions work really well together. Someone earlier commented in that game that they thought Ezreal would be an okay replacement for Zoe, and I think if you think that, you don't understand how good Zoe is. I think Zoe being a one-mana card that generates card advantage and does other things is huge. For the record, this deck having Hush and other answers probably means it has an okay matchup here, but even when I'm beating Lee Sin, I don't tend to enjoy it, so we're just gonna go ahead and skip over those matches like we've been doing. Remember, life is short and you should play games for fun, so if you have matches you're not enjoying, I'd recommend skipping them. Also, if Riot is smart, and they seem like they're pretty smart, I would bet that instant concessions like that are a metric that they track. So it seems like a good way to communicate displeasure with certain archetypes. Zero, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Thermo Beam seems great here. We can murder their turn 1 play. They're on the play. Static Shock might be a little bit on the slow side. I could see mulliganing this looking for like our own Zoe. I think I'm into that just because it's 4 mana. Or they can fix Lee Sin. There's like 100 different things they could change Lee Sin to make him more playable. To make him less offensive and still leave him playable. He's plenty playable right now. Nailed it. Look how sparkly. Hey, Zero, thanks for the sub gift. Really appreciate the support. Welcome, welcome. They're pick-a-carding on turn 3. Well, if that doesn't speak volumes about the quality of their hand. Their hand must be absolute dog doo-doo, right? Definitely just opening attacks this turn. I think Lee Sin as a deck is incredibly unhealthy to exist as a deck that's competitive. Blender model. Titan O'Clock. Thank you for the sub gifty. I really appreciate that. Good morning. So we're going to want to bank spell mana here. So that way we can Heimer into flash next turn, ideally. I'm going to go ahead and murder their elusives here. Or at least one of them. Suit up. Yeah, I think that's fine. Hush is going to get to kill this next turn. Birthday is tomorrow. And we can keep Jeff one higher from 1,500. Thanks, Titan. Happy early birthday. Taking a little hit for 5 next turn if they open attacks isn't the end of the world. Or 8 if they have another suit up, so. If they don't open attacks, I get to Heimer and then flash and then hush this and block, which is nice. Yeah, life's short. Life's short, be happy. Especially when you're playing a game, right? Like, there's enough things in the world where, like, you feel obligated to do things that you don't want to do. Your games, you should never feel that way. That's pretty good. Huh, do I want to prioritize keeping my life total high this turn? I could hush this proactively and then thermo beam this for 1, but then I don't get to kill this in combat. I think that's wrong. I think I want to be able to kill this in combat when I hush it, and then we'll beam this after combat. Does that change the dynamic? I'm taking 10, 11, 12 here. I think that's fine still. Been a while, but I'm keeping up on YouTube. Love the Final Fantasy playthrough. Hey, thanks for the 17 months link between. Yeah, that game was great. I like that one a lot. I found your stream this month was too broke to sub, but thanks to the gift to sub, I can say hello. I love your content and insight. Hey, thanks, Kevin. Remember that you can spend channel points to chat even when we're in sub mode, and I also read comments on my YouTube channel. So if you're a non-sub, you don't have enough channel points to leave enough messages, you can always get my feedback there as well. So we're gonna get to level Zoe next turn, right? Because this is a differently named bot, and then this will be a differently named bot. Oh, this is technically gonna be bigger, right? Yeah, you're right. I should technically be killing this, right? That's a good catch. That's just a mistake on my part. Thanks for the 25 months, Burning Piggy. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. If this generates an otter, we get to give everything elusive off of leveled Zoe, which will be super powerful as well. Really, really fantastic synergy here between Zoe and Heimer in these first couple of games. It's going to be a 4-4 again. Is it? I thought that was a bug. Danger Noodle would also be okay. It would give everything Challenger. It is a 4-4. Yeah. That was a bug that they were fixing. I genuinely don't know now. That feels unintuitive. Okay, so I think we sump this, and then we'll noodle for this so this can hook into here. Is the plan? This is gonna be a challenging turn, but we'll try and get through it. Ash, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Digging for suit ups here. Iterative improvement, also okay. Sure. Invulnerable. If they're gonna be forcing my things to block, that's good for us, especially with something like Progress Day in hand. Like, we're super favored as this game goes along. My opponent's definitely the beatdown and needs to end this game ASAP, which they are not in a position to do now. It's unfortunate. Was hoping for something elusive. I think we're just taking the charger, right? I think I just want to play to the board. I guess playing these in the other order is better, right? I would rather this have Challenger. Yeah, I think you're right, Tobias. The other order was better for me. Hey, Jot, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel.
It's smaller per diagram.
Leveled Zoe plus Heimer bots is wonderful synergy. You're not wrong.
A machine was forceful.
System upgrade.
This keyword situation feels like we have all victors. Yeah, it does kinda, doesn't it? So if I static shock here, this has overwhelm, so they'll go to 1, which makes another static shock lethal. Right? Also, mystic shots to draw to, to give myself more chances to draw to those. Sounds super appealing. Getting 6 points of reach out of their hand here is huge. This is, yeah, like, those need to be killing our face. They need to not be killing our board. So this game should be very over. Yeah, this'll lock the game up here. Getting to gain 5 is everything we want. Hey, Moist, thanks for the 28 months. Bye, friend. yeah, we were gonna play the challenger bot last there. Given the option.
And I gotta say,
This deck is hot, LinkedIn. I am picking up what it's putting down. Alright, let's see how we do against other control deck here, huh? We do have triple Aftershock to deal with their plazas, which is nice. Nailed it. They're not a Zoe deck, so I think I mulligan these two.
I bear a message from. Oh, hey, what's that?
I have adopted your don't play against Lee Sin strategy. I've been enjoying the game a lot more the last week. Yep. My number one piece of advice for any game, not just Runeterra, is games are something you should be playing for fun. If you're playing a game and you find yourself not having fun, change the way you're playing that game or play something else. There's a lot of, especially in the dystopian world in which we currently live, there's a lot of things that rightfully will give you plenty of stress. There's no reason for you to let something you're supposed to be enjoying be a stressor as well. Do I thermo beam this to play around Hush? I think so. I think that's good from a resource efficiency standpoint. It kind of sucks against single combat, but single combat's going to get us at some point anyways. It's a 2-mana card that they get to hold up pretty constantly. Yeah, so I think it's right to do this. Because they don't have single and they have Hush, Zoe gets to get in. I need to grind the spider to get this Void Shard. My Raid Shadow Legends actually just finished 1,200 energy worth of spider battles, believe it or not. 1,232.
The power of the immortal sun.
We're just banking spell mana here.
Behold the sun's holy light.
A lot of answer, thought a lot to do with them. Star Shaping will eventually be pretty okay here. The Invokes on this card will be good finishers in this matchup. Hopefully they play something worth interacting with this turn. Otherwise, we might just be like playing this to invoke this turn.
May our light shine forever.
Am I spending 8 to kill one of these? Yeah, and I mean that's a big part of those games, right? Right, Nor? Like getting people pot committed is a big part of it. Would I rather double Aftershock Day Spear or Leona? The problem is if I pass here, they're gonna pass back. So if I pass here, a good player is gonna burn my mana. So I took a draw there because if we drew Heimer, I'd rather play these spells post Heimer. So I gave up 1 mana in terms of resource efficiency there. Yeah, I'm supposed to open attacks there. That's probably what I'm supposed to do rather than play the other Aftershock. That was a mistake. I should have opened.
Virtue guides me.
Yeah, should have opened. This is our 3rd game with this deck, I believe. We've done the thing twice already, and it's been great, so it's at least game 3. I don't approximately keep track, but I do know we've accomplished our goal 2 times already. Yes, if they attack, we will block, silence, and shock.
My faith.
Is accurate.
I am the bulwark against darkness.
Burn my mana, baby.
Passion through battle.
Good thing we brought our backup static shock. Read. It's a good draw.
What seems to be the problem?
Falcon LOR, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, Star Shaping healing their unit there. Bit of a blowout. We're not going to be able to run them down with them healing this Radiant Guardian. We're going to need to grind them out, which means we really need to draw another Heimer now at this point. I don't think that these alone are going to be able to grind out what they're doing. They're an ASOL deck, so there's a good chance that they're going to have that in a couple turns. Honestly, I would expect our deck to just be pretty rancid against ASOL. ASOL tends to go over the top of what these other control decks are doing. Their in-game is just much bigger than ours. Andrew, thank you for the 52 months of Prime. I appreciate you dropping off some of Bezos dollars again. Welcome back. Hopefully vaccine distribution is going to get figured out and we'll be able to see each other again before the end of the year. That would be nice.
Her light is our sword to warp our armor.
Bask in the light's radiance.
I think I'm just ditching. I think I want to hold on to the Aftershock for now. I think Plaza could still mess us up. So it's your pickup.
Forge ahead.
Strike for justice.
They're already through 2 Pale Cascades. They could have a Hush of their own, though.
Channel our power. Radiant strikes.
All of these require a second Celestial. Yikes. Was this the best draw in my deck? I think this was the best draw in my deck.
Bask in her radiant blessing.
We have exactly 12 here. Joker, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Great, and then we have Hush into Comet to deal with Acel next turn too, potentially.
Sunlight blinds.
Goodbye, friends. Not out of the woodworks yet, but we're still in the game here. How'd the first deck feel? It was super reasonable. We got to out of the way survival skills a number of people today. That's not a card advantage. Really need to find a Heimer or a Zoe here. Ideally Heimer, I think.
The dawn has arrived.
Yeah, Lipsky, I think that assessment is super accurate. Runeterra is easily the most mentally taxing card game I've ever played. In large part due to what you just described there, which is that you're always playing and taking actions. For as much as Magic players like to push their glasses up and act like elitists when they talk about Hearthstone, because Hearthstone you only play on your turn, Magic has a ton of sitting there twiddling your fingers waiting to take your turn. Whereas in Runeterra, you're constantly engaged. It's much harder to play Runeterra for extended periods than it is to play Magic for extended periods. They have a single combat here? Are we dead? Yeah, we are. That's unfortunate.
We will not suffer.
Is that lethal?
They will not escape.
Yeah, that's lethal, right? We can go block, and take 7.
Follow the horizon.
Yeah. In Magic, you could theoretically play every turn, but because you don't get your resources back, you're basically only playing once every other turn. Sometimes you're skipping your turn to play on their turn, but it's still only every other turn. Whereas Runeterra, you're always going. Yeah, that's true too, Sir Sparkles. Runeterra doesn't have non-games, so you don't just get to randomly die or randomly run your opponent over. You have to be engaged and make meaningful decisions in basically every game of Runeterra. Swain Twisted Fate. Put a mulligan the Flash to start. The rest of these sound great, though. This is a mid-range control deck. Sell, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Could I have hushed my stunned unit to block? Oh, that's a good catch. Yeah, I totally missed that. ARN, thank you for pointing that out. We're probably still losing that game, but you're right. I wasn't dead to that attack. Yep, Blade's Edge is a very common 1 to 2 of in the opponent's archetype because Zoe is so prevalent inside of the Lee Sin matchup. It's a good example of how the metagame dictates what cards people play. Proactive, reactive. Proactive, reactive. Am I the beatdown here? I feel like I'm probably the beatdown. By the way my hand is set up, though, I'm really interactive. gonna take the comment. I think I need to be able to answer things like Leviathan and Swain. I agree that we don't have a lot of threats, but the fact that I don't have threats kind of encourages me to make sure I can interact with them, right?
To leave or burn. Have faith.
I think based on the context of my hand, I'm happy with the turn ending here. Can you explain what the beatdown is? Who's the beatdown is basically a short way to ask the question out loud, who's more likely to win this game as the game goes long? So basically, I'm asking myself the question, if this game lasts another 20 turns, who's more likely to win, me or my opponent?
Reality is just your mind crumbling under what it doesn't understand, silly!
And that's not something I strictly have the answer to. Like, this is not a matchup I played. This is our first time playing the deck that we're currently playing. I would estimate, based on the answers I currently have in my hand, that there's a good chance I'm favored as this game goes long, but that's definitely not a given. Not a guarantee by any means. I think I'm binning the Hush here.
Through the coral!
The number of turns in the game that you play in Runeterra at maximum is way more than 20. I think it's closer to 40 if I recall correctly. Just for reference, it's actually much higher than 20. Thank you very much. Don't bullshit a bullshitter. Come on now. I was born here, grew up, thrived. Save my 4-1. 40 is the longest you can go before decking. That's actually not true. There's a number of things that put extra cards in your deck. Actually. Morning, Avid.
Deal me in. Soak it in.
Pretty sure we just want to murder this. Listen, chat, I've got a programming background and a master's degree in mathematics. I'm all about the technically correct. Don't try and get me.
By my hand, will Noxus rise.
I think this is the play. This is gonna level him, but this is still gonna kill him. He'll only be a 3/7. We're gonna have 9 mana next turn, which is a good number to have because it means I can play this with Daybreak to start my turn and then still comment a boat.
Bask in her radiant blessing.
The boat is going to draw them another Swain, though, so the card advantage from it could still catch up with us in the long term. If they have more boats or Captain Pharaons, we're going to be in trouble. But we're not dead to the first one, at least.
Witness glory.
There's a meteor shower going on outside. Heimerdinger is exactly what we wanted to draw.
Vision to see what others.
Freehead TV, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel.
I'm always up for a round or two. Blue as the serpentine.
See if Heimer Flash can drag us kicking and screaming into this game. That's a Poggers Day now. Okay, if they can't kill this turn and we get to Poggers Day next turn, even if we don't get to Poggers Day, second Heimer's still pretty good.
By my hand, it knocks us right.
Maybe I'm supposed to aftershock this.
Go with the flow.
All right, that one's not so good, chat. Just want to get the maximum number of fearsome blockers out here. So that way this is unlikely to connect next turn.
Yes, again!
Again!
Machine for sports ball.
Okay. Okay, goodbye, Leviathan number 2.
What a celebration! Back to work! Everything can use an upgrade!
Wow! Wow! Unlucky. 1, 5. I guess we do this.
They should thank you.
Hey, do you have another one? You do not! Second Poggers Day! I'd actually rather play the 8 mana Poggers Day for another 8/8, right? Seven is a barrier, I believe. It's just a barrier. Alright, they're gonna get to stun some stuff here.
I kill you, I don't fortunes.
Do I play this out as an extra fearsome blocker? I don't think I need to, right?
Such little lies. change fate and I get
So they could technically have killed this in response and then hit us with this, but I think that's still fine, right? They're out of boats. We've killed 2 boats and they tossed 1. So we're done with boats, and I think without boats, there's no way they beat this. I think it's pretty safe to say this game is done.
Progress waits for no one.
Billy, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel.
Exceptional advancement in ballistics.
Don't death sand me. Don't death sand me. Death sand kills this, stuns this, and then this and a bunch of other stuff hits us. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. If Swain doesn't trigger this turn, we win. But if Swain triggers this turn, we're gonna be in a bad spot. Okay, I mean that they need a Blade's Edge here. Units do not count as spells. I think we're at the point where we're trading Heimer, huh? Just keeping the life total high. I think if we don't get burned out, we can't lose this game. I think we're opening attacks next turn, right? I don't want to play this because they could just stun it. If I play this, they have anything that deals damage to my Doan, Swain will stun it. Alright, looking for a way to kill this. That'll do, pig. Isn't it correct for them to fervor one of my units? I think they're trying to burn us out here. So I would assume that's why they fervored my base instead of one of my units. They're not winning this game as it goes along. They gotta kill us ASAP. They fervor my unit, they connect with Swain. No, I had 2 blockers for Swain. Fervor stunned to blockers yet. They fervored my dome because it got rid of a blocker. I know this is dying, but it means I take less damage. which is key here. I just want to make sure I don't get burned out.
But I needed assistance. A sturdy construction. Yes, again!
The enemies of day will fall.
New method to evaluate.
Sweet. So beat double battleship Rex there. Pretty solid grind, backed up by a little bit of life gain. Heimer. And I think, so seeing the way that game played out, I think earlier in that game we had been talking about that who's the beatdown concept, right? And seeing how we were able to win as the game went long, I think means that I made the correct assessment early that I needed to assume a defensive role so I could position myself to make the game go long because we were favored as the game went long. And the fact that we were able to outgrind 3 of their best pieces of top end plus Swains, I think really means that that was a correct assessment. How many more games with this deck? We've been playing this for almost an hour, so another half hour or so. So more time frame than raw number of games. Hush sounds great against what's likely an elusive aggro deck. Thermo Beam sounds good in case they play a Fizz on 1. Something's just a decent body that pairs with this to block okay.
Nothing like the stink of blood and sweat. It's hard to get rich.
Look at this reality! Look how sparkly!
Murderer. Do I want to use this now for the sake of resource efficiency? Probably not. Having an answer rolled up to a Twisted Fate down the line sounds good. They tend to be a pick-a-card deck, so being able to kill Twisted Fate ASAP has a lot of value.
Does your mind crumbling under what it doesn't understand, silly?
Please play the second one. Rats, they played around Static Shock. Curse you, opponent, making good plays. Why can't you play fast and loose?
The dead don't need riches.
Golden Sisters, probably the single best hit there. It's an elusive blocker that also buffers our life total back up down the line. And you cast Thermo Beam at spell mana. You can, and it does remove spell shield.
The sweet smell of silence.
Deal me in. Who says I don't share?
It's a good thing we brought our backup Zoe chat.
Go out here without me.
The light of my star warms the heavens.
Morning, Blevins. little sad that he died without value, but we've got another one here, so it's not all bad. Am I opening attacks? I think I'm opening attacks here. I'm pretty into gaining 4. We'll go Heimer into Beam the Twisted Fate this turn. I think we just let this happen. I think killing the Twisted Fate is more valuable than saving this. I do think my opponent should have blocked here in case I had a Pale Cascade. If I don't have Pale Cascade, the block doesn't do anything, but small mistake on their part, most likely, I think. If I had it and wanted to play it, I guess I should say, because I did have it, but I didn't want to play it. If they have another way to kill this, another Get Excited, they get to deny me my bot and then have decent open attacks next turn. The fact that we're generating a bot here hopefully means this game is over. Do you think Heimer hears that a lot, chat? It's smaller than the diagram? On a sequence here, I probably just want to be as defensive as possible, right? I think it's star shaping. This is an elusive blocker, technically, and we can play it next turn, and it's huge. I think I'd rather have a Sump Dredger than a 5/1. I guess maybe I'd rather have a 5/1 and a Sump Dredger. Yeah, that's probably the case. He's got a whole lot of nothing going on here. Yeah, second star shaping should close this game up. This should lock them out of any potential outs that they have to punk us out of the game. Between that and this elusive blocker here. You got it. Heimer's dead. Morning, silly cheese. So it's quick attack, so it's a free crunch in. Very angry dragon.
I bear a message from. Oh, hey, what's that?
Never lost a fair game. Or played one.
Save Zozo here. They need to block these two. Garlic, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Silence the Poro and attack. Yeah, it's probably the line. I don't think their deck plays ways to interact with these. I think they're dead even without the hush here. With the hush, they should definitely be dead. Oh, I guess they're technically going to 2 with the chump block.
How do you like that, Sparkles?
Game's still effectively over if we don't kill them that turn, though. Solidly into a little bit of garbage time there. This deck's been really sweet. Zoe and Heimer work really well together. Heimer's keywords trigger leveled Zoe and the bots help level her. Lucy and Hecker. I'm definitely not mulliganing Zoe on one, but also want to mulligan as much as possible to find Aftershock. Opponent's deck tends to be quite embarrassing when it doesn't have Plaza in play. Lucian, please. Shark Chariot. I definitely think Zoe's in contention for best champion in the game currently. Okay, so they're gonna get one turn with their Plaza if they have it. In chat, they always have it. Is it crazy to give up this attack to guarantee they can't Plaza me? They would have just played Plaza, right? They would have just played Plaza. I'm gonna take my hit. I'm gonna take my hit.
I wanna go home.
There really isn't a reason for them to wait to play Plaza.
These old eyes.
Yeah, there's no reason to wait there. They could have been trying to get us, but seems ambitious. Is this good, chat? If so, why? Please explain. If I was going to nerf Zoe, how would I nerf her? I would make super cool star chart cost 3. I think would be where, I think if you think Zoe's too good, that's where you start. I think I like her baseline a lot. I think I would just make this more expensive.
Answers. I have them.
Have them. Obviously, make her an 01. The last week or so, Maka Art. Huh. So if they don't open, I can silence this? Yeah, I could rather noodle.
Tell me something cool. I call this constellation the jump rope.
A sturdy construction.
What's doing over there?
I have a new method to evaluate.
I'm gonna hit this into here because I've got Mystic Shots. So Zoe's gonna level here on 6 for us. What if Zoe was a 2 cost 1 2? Yeah, they could make a change like that where they increase her cost but also increase her stat line. I think that would be fine too.
Yes, again. Interesting solution.
Universe demands change. I'm doing it.
I think making Zoe a 3 mana 1/1 makes her unplayable. Like I said, I think if you decided you wanted to change Zoe, and I think that's still an if. I think I would start by just making Star Chart cost 3. I think there's a good chance that changing Zoe is wrong because if there's a problem with Targon, it's the surrounding Targon cards more than Zoe. Would be my current opinion.
It's smaller than the diagram.
Danger noodle.
Hey, Carnage, thanks for the 10 months. Really appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Level turn 6 level Zoe, make all of these bots. Paradigm shift time. Tough does not stack. Our board is super duper tough. Oh, I could have killed them. Shh. Let's just call it BM. Let's pretend I was actually paying attention and call it BM. Chat, if I aftershock their face, I have to stop making robots. Why would you want to stop making robots, chat? What did my robots ever do to you?
Everyone's a garden.
Lego, thanks for the follow. Yeah, we deserve that.
What once was two, now is one.
Here we go.
Get the camera, Mom. I'm gaining life.
Insolence.
Unforeseen outcome.
Enemies of day will fall.
And we're gonna open attacks this turn. So I wasn't paying attention and I missed Aftershock Lethal, but our deck's busted enough that we were able to beat their Harrowing. So we gave them a free extra turn on which they made their best possible play their deck could make, and it wasn't good enough because we were set up and going. It was obviously just better TV. Naturally. Indubitably. Thanks everybody for hanging out today, by the way. Great to see almost 800 people in here for some card games this morning. Had a bunch of new followers. If you're someone that's new to the channel, welcome. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I stream full-time here on Twitch. Runeterra is the primary game that I stream. Usually I do 3 to 4 different Runeterra decks every single day of the week to start things off on stream. A lot of the decks that I play are viewer-submitted decks or ideas. So if you find yourself enjoying my content and you'd like to support it a little bit while getting something out of it for yourself, I'd love to play one of your decks on stream at some point in the not-too-distant future. I also have a couple of YouTube channels, that Hoaglandia Highlights channel. I take a different deck each day of the week that are some of the best that I've played here on stream and post a short 20 to 30-minute highlight video with a deck tech and showcasing it in a couple of games. So if you want to see what some of the sweetest off-meta things are that I find competitive while playing them on stream, that's a great source of that. Like I said, I play a ton of things here, and the best of them end up on that highlights channel. I also have a second YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland, where absolutely everything I stream gets posted. So if you want to kind of if you don't want to cut through the noise, you want to waffle through it yourself, you can see everything I stream ends up there. I think Submersible will be good in this deck. I don't envision any problems this deck has that Submersible really solves. I don't feel like I have closing power in the late game. I don't know that I really want to give up any of my interactive elements in order to have another finisher. I think we mulligan looking for Aftershock, right? Like, never mulliganing Zoe on one, but Aftershock against the Plaza deck is something we definitely want to dig for.
I bear a message from. Oh, hey, what's that?
Oh, hey, what's that? The locks. Rawr! That beats single combat. Am I hushing a sharp sight? I think I am. This deck cost me 1 champion and 2 comments. How dare you empty my wallet? And Shield Bearer is less good on 2 when we're on the draw, or when we're attacking on evens.
Trickster never loses because Zoe makes the rules
I could be right to some peer to give myself the best chance to find Aftershock to kill this with next turn. I kind of like being able to open and get the trigger with this, though.
I'm one of the good guys, but not that.
Do I want to bin here? I feel like it's Sunblessed Vigor. Yeah, I think it's Vigor, because this is a good roadblock. This could find an Equinox for us, or a Crescent Strike. I think it's Vigor. Really unfortunate that she's +1/+1 from this Plaza, huh? Can't kill her with this right away. Alright, show me Quinn.
I ought to show you the sights of Bill's Bar.
Gosh, their deck is really good when it has the ideal curve. You know that, chat? It's really good when it has the ideal curve. I think I gotta kill Misfortune here.
I'll be damned.
I think because Quinn already came down and got Challenger, that's what I gotta do. Okay, and then yeah, so these trade, and then Thermo Beam gets to kill Quinn. So like they still have Plaza, so we're a little bit behind, but at least we're not just dead. Yeah, the problem is if I miss on the stun there, Lamp, then I basically lose the game. So I think potentially losing the game on the spot is a bad line.
Oh, the sweet smell of silence.
Don't play a unit and then rally me.
Alright,
That's fine. Don't rally me.
Unforeseen outcome.
I had one request, opponent. I had one request. It was all. It's the one thing I specifically asked you not to do.
No prey, no pay.
Clad in shining sunlight.
I mean, that's true of most things, right?
I've got your back.
Dex cards are good when they have the best possibles always. Gosh, we're bad at drawing Crescent Strike. Yeah, no, if we lose this game, which seems likely, I don't really know that there was anything we could do different. That was it. Wasn't a lot of player agency in this game. Opponent just ran us down. I mean, to be fair, what they did, Kuvin just beats most decks. I don't think it's because we're playing Heimer. Like, aggro decks don't get under what they did. Quinn just decimates their board. Am I dead if I don't play this? I didn't count. Not quite. We're taking 12. Be dead next turn, though. I guess I get to do this into Aftershock, kill the Misfortune. And this isn't quite dead. huh? Okay.
Bask in her radiant blessing.
Take a chance on me. Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
There's only
Okay,
one
and we're gonna have 11 mana next turn. We're gonna have 11 mana next turn.
Back, heretic.
I don't actually think Plaza's a problem card.
What once was two, now is one.
I also think people saying if you took the health point off of Plaza, would that be enough of a nerf? It would be, in the aspect that you'd be killing Plaza as a card. I think if you want to take the health point off of Plaza, you have to make the card cheaper, I think. I think most of the decks, I think if someone said to me, Jeff, you have to change Plaza, we've decided it's a problem, I would get rid of the extra point of attack on it. That would be Jeff decides. If you ask me to make the choice, that's what I would do. I'm gonna try and kill this with Static Shock this turn. I mean, like, even this game, right? Like, our opponent had a really good start. We're potentially in this game, chat.
I rise.
Like, we're winning this game, right? This is only at 2 out of 4. We're probably winning this game because we're playing a Targon deck. I mean, the best Plaza deck is Targon Demacia. All right, so you're new here. You've been following for 2 hours. The great thing about Runeterra as a game is that when people say things like that, your feelings, don't make unsubstantiated claims like that. One of the things Runeterra does better than basically every other card game out there is Runeterra provides us this huge wealth of data. And objectively speaking, based on a very large sample size of games played, the opponent's archetype is the best performing Plaza deck. You might prefer Targon Plaza. Like, it's fine to say that's the deck you enjoy playing more, but like, understand that you need to separate reality from fiction. You need to separate personal preference from what's actually happening.
That's Captain Fortune.
For people that aren't familiar with my background, if you're new to the channel, I have a master's degree in mathematics. I've taught a number of statistics classes. Really, nothing quite irks me like people not using data appropriately. You did to this? Did we beat your crazy draw? I think we beat their crazy draw, chat. I think we fumbled through it. That's nutso. I can't believe we won this. That's like super impressive. Their draw was really good, right? They went Plaza into Misfortune, into Quinn, into second Misfortune after we killed the first one. Sharp Sight could save them, but we're still winning in the long term, right? Yeah, I agree. I agree. Even if they peeled Sharp Side here, I think this might be a I lost with my nut draw disconnect.
Down here, salt is a way of life.
Obviously, the environment down here is all salt. The ceiling's salt, the floor's salt, the walls are salt, and to an extent, the air is salt. And you breathe that in, and you constantly taste the salt.
If you're a card game player and you don't have that YouTube video on AutoLink, let me tell you. Yeah, I actually, and just for the record, yeah, Cody's on my autoplay. Cody Shody's a good one. Just for the record, I don't think, and like I said, the people saying how would you nerf Plaza? I don't think Plaza needs a nerf. I actually think the current top decks, other than Lee Sin, are actually fantastic decks to have be top decks in Runeterra. I think Draven Ezreal and Plaza Scouts, those are objectively the two of the best performing decks post-patch. And those decks are good decks that are healthy to have in the game, and I think they make good top decks. For the next balance patch, I personally am hoping for changes to Lee Sin to either make him not combo kill or be more interactable. And I would like to see a number of buffs to various things. Like there's a number of underplayed cards that they could make better, but the only thing I would tone down currently, based on my experience and looking at the data, is Lee Sin. Yeah, I think I am pretty happy with the rest of the format. I think the other decks that are good, best decks, are decks that generate good games of Runeterra with good back and forth. I think if Ezreal Draven is one of the best decks in the format as a whole is in the good place. As for this deck, this was fantastic. I was expecting this archetype to be reasonable based on how Heimer felt and performed last season, especially based on its results at the last seasonal tournament. But good gosh, did Zoe feel like a really powerful upgrade to this deck. Having 6 5-mana champions in Heimer always felt super clunky to me. And Zoe, in addition to just being a generically good card that generates card advantage and helps you control the board when you need it to with her super cool star chart invokes, she also just synergizes really well with Heimer. We got leveled Zoe and leveled Heimer up on board at multiple points, and it's actually not that uncommon to get both of those into play because Heimer basically turbo levels Zoe, because Heimer turns all of your spells into a second card that you haven't played yet based on the name. So if you like Heimer and you like Zoe control decks, I think this one is excellent. I think if we play this again and it has another good run, this is definitely one I could see me adding up to the website. So yeah, this was definitely a banger for me, and it was gonna be on the highlights channel sometime soon. Pretty cow. I love those two decks being tier 1 because most tier 2 decks can still beat them. You just have to play well. The problem is their tier 1 deck can always be, yeah, I agree. Lee Zoe, the